Assalamu alaikum, bro. How's it going?
Walaikum salam rahmatullah. Doing good, man. And yourself?
Wallah, alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah. It's crazy, man. The Ramadan blues are starting to hit me.
Bro, I feel you, man. I'm exhausted. It's Saturday night right now, and it's like,
Yeah.
man, subhanAllah. It's at least tomorrow, tonight, we have daylight savings time spring forward. Is that a good thing for us or a bad thing for rest? Probably you lose an hour at night.
For tonight's purposes, it's not amazing, right?
Right.
But look, it depends. Like some masajid will delay Isha. So it's kind of like the benefit
Yeah.
you would have from ending your night early goes away because
Yeah.
they add an hour. So it kind of doesn't work out. In our case, at the Tanweer where I usually pray, we've been praying a little later because the facility we're at has different, like it's busier or like earlier. So now we're bringing it up 15 minutes. So we're going to start at, instead
Oh.
of at 9 at 8:45, and we'll
Oh.
be out by like 10, which is great, especially in the last 10 where it's like,
Hmm.
you want to get up for tahajjud and all that. So, at the masajid and whatnot.
That's good. I think, yeah, for us, it's been 8 o'clock as Isha, so now it'll be 9 for most places. So, I mean, it's not too
Mm,
bad, but like 9, you'll finish the 8 and Twitter at like 10:15. If you're staying for 20, probably not going to finish till like 11, right?
yeah,
Ish.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the main thing. And then again, in the last anybody who goes for the last 10, you tend to like get kind of stuck, right? Because it's like, okay, you get home at basically 12. If
Yeah.
if you have Quran, if you have anything you got to do, it's probably out the door, or you're gonna do it and then maybe sleep for a little bit, then go to the masjid in the middle of the night. If yeah, and if that's what you're like last year, bro, I tried to do whatever I could at home, and I was like, yo, this is not the move. I need to go to the masjid. Feel like that's kind of my warm up, and then come home and kammil, like do more ibadah then. But I don't know.
Yeah. So a couple thoughts on that. So isn't it crazy how, subhanAllah, the environment really plays a big role in how you feel in the ibadah at home, your own room. No, you don't have, alhamdulillah, no voices or izaj yet. It's coming soon, inshallah. Not that's a bad thing, but kids are great. But the focus is
Of
present at
course,
home.
of
But
course.
subhanAllah, the environment really matters. Where you're at, the masjid, the people. As much as you want to do ibadah at home, I mean, there's a reason why it's more thawab at the masjid, right? The second
No,
thing, oh
100%.
god,
Yeah. No, I'm saying 100%. I agree. I agree.
I was gonna say the second thing is like, man, I keep today we had like a guys iftar of like 60 or 70 people. It's an annual thing that my friend hosts, and a bunch of people were saying like, yeah, I'm taking the last week off and doing like atikaf at a masjid in a different state, and I was like, man, I should have done that. Every year I tell myself I will, but this year kind of coincided with me starting a new job like last week. So it's kind of hard to go take a first week off, the second or third week. But next year, inshallah, I would say 5 days, Monday to Friday, plus the weekends. That would be like five, six, seven, eight, nine. Like it's pretty easy to take 9 days off if you take Monday to Friday in the end of Ramadan. I gotta do it because it's just hard to focus. How can you make up those missed Quran recitations? How can you focus and lock
Yeah.
in? Especially if you're up the whole night and
Yeah.
events and iftars and no
No,
azaim the last week, bro. Like next year, no azaim. Like it's just I don't want to say waste of time, but it takes a lot of time.
there's a big opportunity cost. You could be in worship. You could be like in ibadah and dua and all these things.
Yeah.
The thing is, bro, we were talking about a lot this Ramadan of like, it's just like it feels overwhelming. But you know what? It is a blessing too to like
Yeah.
have the community. One thing that like people who don't do Ramadan find extremely like unique is like whenever you're telling people about what Ramadan is like, they're always amazed by the fact that you're, no food, no water, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours, something like that. But the thing that always gets the biggest ahas is like, or oohs, is like when you tell them, oh no, we have like a dinner party almost every night at other people's houses, or like you jump from dinner party to dinner party, and they're like, whoa, what the heck? You break bread with your family, like your parents and your siblings, like almost every day, or like you're seeing friends. Like it's an amazing thing. Whereas alhamdulillah, like for us, we're just like used to it. So I don't know. I think it's got its pros, it's got its cons, of course, if you overplay it, right? Like if you're missing Taraweeh or not praying Taraweeh at these iftars, like it's like, all right, bro, you gotta probably ask yourself, what am I doing?
Priorities is the
Yeah,
priorities, yeah. And that
yeah,
kind of does annoy me too. It's like, especially if you're the host and like it's like close family. No,
yeah,
great to have them too, but like if you're not if you're if not even praying at home, at least if you're praying at the house, jama'ah, okay, fine, like with jama'ah ma ba'd, حلو. But if you're
Yeah.
not praying and people are just tired, it's like, man, I don't want to do it if that's the case. So at least, I think we can be smart about it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
inshallah, we're gonna pray tarawih starting like 9:15. So you give
Yeah.
people like an out of like, you know what, it's a bit later than the masjid, but like, hey, we're gonna pray jama'ah, inshallah, and just like kind of make them feel bad if they're just not, because it's like, come on, we're eating together, we're doing a good thing, we're enjoying it, but let's not waste the purpose of Ramadan. And also, let's not make iftar all about like the food. Like, okay, great, you want to eat food, but like, you shouldn't be spending 4 hours making it and then just having all that crazy dessert. And like, that's fine, you can do that, but not at the expense, like you said.
You know what's crazy? Sheikh Amjad Tarsin was saying in a I think he was doing a Ramadan prep with Sheikh Yahya, and he was talking about
Mm.
this exact issue on like people having this like khajal, this like embarrassment or like shyness to practice Ramadan fully when you have family around. So he's talking about an aunt of his who she was hosting them and everything, and I think in Libya, and he was saying that like they're eating and everything, and then out the blue she's gone. Like she's in the kitchen cooking everything before Ramadan, before iftar. I'm sorry, and she's gone. So he's like asking about her and everything. And they're like, oh, she's in her room and doing ibadah and reading Quran and all that. So when he sees her after, he's like, Khalti, like, where were you? And she's like, oh, I have to. Khalas, everybody knows I have my set time for ibadah. And I'm like, wow. Like, basically, what's our excuse? If our moms, aunts, wives, or brothers are cooking, um, yeah, and they're making the time that we should also like do that part. I'm not a kitchen guy yet, though. I know there's a barakah to that, but I haven't gotten that yet.
In terms of like cooking and stuff.
I've never, my teacher Sheikh Omar was just joking with us. He's like, I'll never cook, but you'll catch me in Ramadan for the barakah and virtue of cooking for people. I
Oh,
will cook.
I see what you're saying. You're saying for the thawab of like making food for people, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
When I was back in Jordan one summer in Ramadan, I would see people like at the streetlights at the iftar time, like going to people's cars and just
mm,
giving them dates because they want to
mm,
be the people that helped you break your iftar. So they just be like, hey, tamar for you. At the end of Maghrib, and they're like out giving tamar to 10, 20 people. That's so
yeah,
smart.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, subhanAllah, it's hard to host 50 people on one night and pay for all that food and make, but if you go buy method and tamar for the masjid, like a whole box, and 100 people eat from it, bro, that's worth whatever cost the tamar is.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. No, you know what? That gives me an idea. So I'm between. I think I was telling you about the masjid hopping. So like one
Yeah.
thing I do like to do in Ramadan is I think suhbah is really important. I think you're just talking about the iftar you were at, but like we used to do this thing a few years ago, and I think we kind of restarted it this year called Masjid Hopping Mondays, where
Mondays. Okay.
yeah, it's now Masjid Hopping on Thursdays. We've had a bit of a rebrand due to some logistical changes, but essentially we get a bunch of brothers together for iftar time. So we'll go to a cool restaurant that is around a masjid that we don't usually frequent. We'll have iftar, we'll pray maghrib together, and then go to the masjid, right? So it's been really cool. Like, alhamdulillah, we've had some really fun ones. We'll go to the Turkish masjid in Maryland. We'll do other masajid in this area that like are just like maybe 30 minutes plus, but that's just like a totally different experience than our local masajid. But you're reminding me about two things. One, I have to decide if we're going to do it this week because it's the last 10 and I feel guilty. But two, if we're going to do it, I definitely want to bring some dates or something. I think that's a beautiful idea, mashallah.
SubhanAllah, man. That's what I was reminded today. And I think it was a small lesson I heard somewhere or a clip. And it was just like every day donate. And I was like, I don't think I
Mm,
donate every single day. Like, you make some donations here and there, but like, if you could donate every day, reminds me of the masjid here locally. They have a thing where you could sign up and it was like every day it would debit your account like $5 instead of giving it
yeah.
all at once. I didn't do that this time, but I heard some people, what they do is they have like a box next to their door and it's like always has a $1 bills or $5. And every time they go to the masjid, they go pick one up and they go. So every day they make it a habit of
Mm.
like from their car, maybe they have like a stash of $5 bills. Every time you go in for Jum'ah, salawat, go and put, just to make that like a daily habit.
I love that because like right now on Launch Good, you can do that. You
You
can like
can.
opt in for a daily like $1, $2, $3, but it's not.
It
You
doesn't
don't
feel
even
the
notice it.
same.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Automatic, it's not the same as if you
Inshallah,
go
same.
and give.
يعني, thawab, but it's not, yes,
Yeah.
it's not, you're not building the atomic habits thing. I'm the kind of person who donates daily because it's
Mm.
sunnah. Like, you're not doing that. You're kind of just like making it very easy. And inshallah, yani, if you made that first niyyah, you would hope that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the barakah of that. But you're right, bro. And one of my friends, Allah Sahl alayhi Burhan, he used to tell me that every time he would go to Fajr, his mom gives him like a dollar, quarters, or whatever, probably in the dollars, not quarters, but that basically, like, the thing of giving sadaqah every day. I think there's a hadith about it that, like you, there's something of like, I don't know if it's you give sadaqah for protection or something on a daily basis, or like
Uh, d- I,
protection for your
I heard like
physical.
I heard definitely
Yeah,
bala or for some raw.
yeah,
There's definitely a thing I heard about it
yeah,
from my parents too. It
yeah,
must be something legit if they're
yeah,
all saying it.
yeah. I know, right?
You
We
hear
should probably
something,
hop on that.
you hear something enough times from different people. There's probably some truth to it.
There's
Subhanallah.
probably some truth to it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. But how's you were saying you went to that iftar with like 60, 70 dudes?
dude. Yes,
What's
it's
the
funny,
story with
man.
that? 60,
Okay,
70. So is it 60, 70 dudes or like families all
okay.
together?
I'll give you the story. So
Yeah.
I moved to North Carolina exactly 4 years ago, like March
Mm.
2022.
Yeah.
And when I first got here, we had gotten an apartment next to the new masjid that was built 4 months prior. And we randomly met this guy named Abdul Muqtadir. MashaAllah, alayh, great guy, local guy here. And he was just like the LinkedIn of Raleigh for Muslims. Like
Oh
he was just
wow.
like a connector. He's like, oh, you're new here? Great. There's an iftar at my house. It was Ramadan. Like, we do a guys iftar. Although also we have a chat called like Raleigh fam. And just a bunch of guys. Most of them were like single,
Yeah. Yeah.
young guys like age 20 to 30, maybe he'd been here for a while, but in general the purpose was like to grow the community of guys, locally.
Right.
Most of them were single, weren't married, so it was like a lot of people in the same age group. And he was doing iftars once a year, maybe a couple events, especially iftars in Ramadan.
Yeah.
And so he invited us to go. My brother and I went, and mashallah, through that one day, we met so many people, like maybe like 20 or 30 guys. And then, did events for those people and met and did more, activities with them throughout the year. And then we went every single year in Ramadan, and every time we went, it was like 15 or 20 more guys. And then this year was probably my fourth year going, the fifth year of them doing it. And this time he opened up for wives because, mashallah, in those 4 years, like everyone, a bunch of guys got married and some had kids. So it was like, now he did it for everyone, including the wives. So it was cool. This time, I took my wife and, the guys, I met more new guys this time, and then they also have wives. And so, subhanAllah, I talked about tech, AI,
Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah, but it just grows. And I was thinking about it, subhanAllah.
Yeah.
There's not many situations where you really get together with the community. You know what they say, breaking bread with people. It's together, eating, iftar, and then it's like a more deeper socializing aspect where you actually talk to people. And today I had a realization where like when I'm in big events, I'm very shallow in like talking to people because there's just so many and I'm trying to get as many convos as possible. But today it was nice because for some reason I was able to have like deeper convos with like 4 or 5 people instead of so many over those 3 hours. And so I realized today it was like, man, there's so many new people that just got here, and I felt like I was the guy who introduced me before, and it was just like a full circle moment where it was like, man, had a realization of like community doesn't get built on its own. You have to put the effort. You have to invite people. You have to connect, exchange numbers, and it just reminded me like, hey, and you have to make that community. It doesn't happen by itself, and you have to be outgoing enough to, be curious, ask about them, double tap, second layer discovery questions, be genuinely curious, and when you do that, like people really connect with you. And I even got asked personal questions like, hey, I just got married. When do you think is a good time to have a kid? And I'm just like, bro, I just met you. Like, whoa. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, you said so many amazing things about like
I
community
talked for
doesn't
a lot.
happen,
I
but
just ranted
no,
for
no,
2 minutes. So I'll
no,
take a
bro.
break here.
No, 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 no. Relax. Don't do that, bro. No, community isn't built on its own. I love that because that's so true, bro. Like so many people, there's a lot of Muslim communities in America where there's a lot of people, but not a lot going on. Like people
Yeah.
don't, like, I remember one of my mentors, life coaches in the community, Uthman al-Talib, shout out, brother Uthman. He
Great
talked
guy.
about, yeah, he talked about, so he was an executive in Silicon Valley at some point. And he was based out of here for a long time. He went there. Anyways, we'll let him come and tell his story one day. He was talking about when he first got to the Bay Area, he found it really hard to connect with people. Like he'd go to the Salah, Fajr, Isha, like people weren't introducing themselves and all that. And that was the thing that he was saying is like, yeah, community doesn't to your point, community doesn't happen by itself. You have to actively go. There has to be a connector. Um so yeah, subhanallah, man. That's so important. And it's like, you know what, bro? I love that you also said about like connecting with a few, because I feel like people also, you can't control how people feel. Like me, if I went to an iftar with 60, 70 people, there's a good chance I would shake everybody's hand and have like surface level conversations. And the reality is you don't know who you interact with that might take that the wrong way. It's like, bro, I was trying to talk to you. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, so it creates that kind of like awkwardness for like, and people have expectations that you're not always ready to take on. No, I love that, bro. That's amazing.
100%, man. It's funny too because I was thinking today. I was like, I don't know. It might not seem like it, but like, I don't know. I feel like pretty socially awkward when I'm meeting a bunch of new people, and then I'm just like, "Assalamu alaikum, what's your name?" And I get all these names. Bro, I suck at names. I can't like unless you tell me your first and last name and think about you like Ahmed, Al Arab from New Mexico. Like I'll remember that. But if you just tell me,
Yeah,
like, especially like I'm Irfan, I'm Ahmed, I'm Ali, like so many people, I don't remember names. I suck at it. I remember faces, but not names. So
dude. I got called out for that the other day. Someone came
you
up to me.
did?
He's like, "Bro, this guy was like, hey, how's it going, bro?" He said He's like, "What's up, Futhallah?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "You don't remember my name, do you?" I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
and he's like, "Yeah, I know you don't remember my name. I've told it to you like a few times." And I'm like, "Bro,"
Oh, that hurts.
and I
I
was
mean,
like, I like, you know what? Fair point. So I like, I've seen this thing on TV where if you say someone's name, like you make a mnemonic device, but I've seen I know someone who, when I met him, he like wanted to take a picture of my face so that he remembers me, like face to the
dude,
name. Yeah.
actually, I respect. I did that with Sheikh Omar actually, Popel.
Oh yeah.
When I first met, I was like, I want to put you on my only not because I would forget him, but like I'd like to do
Yeah.
that because if you put
Yeah.
someone as a contact on your phone and you see him on WhatsApp, you connect online, like you're gonna
Yeah.
remember their name. So sometimes what I do is what I used to do, I have like a notes app on my phone for like the Masjid, and then I would write down like Ahmed, the guy that always wears like a red shirt, and I think about them. Like he said, he has two kids, dude. All the successful people that I knew, because I used to be a barber and I cut hair for a lot of execs and other people, and some are very successful. The one of the traits that I noticed with very successful business people was they actually always use the name of the person they meet. They say, "Oh, Fathallah, nice to meet you, Fathallah." And they'll say your name like 5 times in like 30 seconds, and they'll always use your name, and they'll ask you a question about. They just show genuine curiosity, and they find out like 5 facts about you. And dude, I'm embarrassed to say I've seen people at the masjid for years. I don't even know their name. Like I feel like it feels bad, but like I realized it today. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. Like, how are you building
Yeah.
community? So today and some recently, I've been trying to like make an effort. SubhanAllah, not saying that to my own horn, but like I realize that's not good. And I'm like, okay, like you can walk up to someone and be like, you know what, man? Like, Assalamu alaikum. I've seen you here for like 2 years, and I never said salam. What is your name? Do you live here? Are you local? Like, have you been here for a while?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like you feel like you have a relationship with someone, but you don't know them. It's kind of that's the thing I want to change this year because I just want to have more real relationships. And alhamdulillah, I'm realizing it more and putting an effort into it. But I just thought I'd share that, man. Pretty
Bro,
embarrassing to say, but
no, no, bro. Look, we all have room to improve, and I'm included in that. Like I was talking to the guys yesterday at Tanweer, like the institute that I'm a part of. Um,
yeah,
and one of the things we were talking about was like we're reflecting on like just it's been 5 years almost. We started studying with
five
Ustad Omar,
years,
bro.
mashallah.
I'll never forget. Beginning of August 2021. I know where I was spiritually, mentally, physically too. It's in good shape. Um, and I remember very vividly, like one of the things that got me to stick to Ustad Omar for so long was that when I had met him back in college, like probably at this point, like what, 7, 8 years ago, he used to give lectures on campus. And I was sharing this as a reflection to with the community of like three things stood out to me. One, when he meets you, he doesn't forget your name. Like he'll do what you just said. He'll use your name in a few sentences. And the second thing that is very memorable about him is he doesn't just like, well, he won't just say your name. He'll engage you in the lecture and be like, Fathallah, what do you think? Or like stuff like that. And the third thing is, this was a kind of a joke, but it was true. I'll never forget this. Is he always, no matter where I was texting you before we started recording. He was dropping off some sweets because we're like 5 minutes apart from each other. He always comes with sweets. Anytime we used to go take classes in his basement, whenever we do events at our location, like we always have to serve something. So he brought peanut butter cookies. I'll never forget. They were really good. I love peanut butter, and I do enjoy cookies. So, but it's, you know what? It's those things that leave a lasting impression because, bro, not everybody's gonna like you, but if you can deny them the opportunity to make a judgment about you as a character, you win because it's like some people you meet, you just don't like them. They don't like you. But at least if you've done all your part, like, alhamdulillah, like there's no even part of them that could like let shaitan continue to build on it. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
Muhammad, man, that guy doesn't even remember my name. Like you might have done anything wrong to this dude, but you didn't. He doesn't have an inclination towards you, and you don't remember his name. So all of a sudden you're a bad guy. But if you remember his name, it's like, we just don't click, and that's actually, pretty good of a situation. I
That's
don't
a
know.
good point. No, it's a great point, and that is a common theme I see with a lot of mashayikh and very successful people in general. Like they'll prioritize getting to know the person, and that name
Yeah,
tag is super important. I mean, you
yeah,
and I both learned that lesson, I guess, this week, right? Remember names, and if you don't, like, make an effort to do so. Take that picture or whatever, man. But it's a good wake up call. Better to have it now than never.
absolutely, bro. Yeah, yeah. No, it goes a long way, and yeah, man. I think it's also. I was hearing this. I think I might have sent you this on Substack. This article. We could probably even do a podcast on this article, bro.
Was it Scott Barker's?
Can't remember the name, but it was like,
The wake up call guy, like wake up
yes,
call. Yep.
yes,
Did
yes.
you? That guy was at outreach with me.
I saw that. Did you know him?
Yeah. Dude,
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay, if you want to say what you want to say, go ahead. But real quick, it was like he was
Yeah.
with a company called Sales Hacker that sold to Outreach, and they would just put like sales articles and whatnot. So he was part of Outreach for a while. He was a very good connector. Like he had a lot of good networks. So
Mm.
in forecast calls and like networking, trying to get in big deals, he would be like the connector of like, hey, you're connected to so and so, and like send like ghost intro emails or whatever. So I know him a bit, and his journey is pretty cool. But go ahead and share what you wanted to about it. I
Okay,
didn't read the article yet,
I
but I
would
know
love
it's
to
good.
meet that guy because
We
he's
could
a good
probably bring
writer.
him on. We could probably bring him on. I mean, I could hit him up.
That would be cool. That would be cool. He's a connector, right? We'll get connected with him. But no, what I didn't get to read the whole article because it's really long. It's like definitely it's more of like a journal style and his
Right.
reflections and his predictions,
Hmm.
but it's very actionable too. So it's a good article. I'll read it and then maybe if you get a chance, give it a shot. But
Hmm.
one of the things he said was that this, like, now more than ever, everything is just so fast. Like everything is so fast with the advent of like AI. Like, bro, it's overwhelming. People can go ship products or websites, and bro, you know what's crazy? I had a friend of mine who him and I a few years ago were thinking about doing like a website creating business. And we were gonna charge like a grand or two because that's what you could charge to build a website. And we had some clients, right? Now you can build a website in minutes. Like so the article was talking about how like right now is a time where everything is just getting faster upon faster. That every month one of these Claude becomes the most popular one, or Gemini, or this, and becomes groundbreaking, and you have to like basically shift teams and all this and that. One of the things he said though is like in that time that we're getting into, or in this time we're getting into, it's important more than ever to slow down and like do the small things. So that's what I love about what you said about the iftar, man, because it's like, all these new people, all this. Nah, you built connections with 5 people. You don't know like what those 5 people. Maybe someone's gonna have kids sooner, or you know make make sure they invest time with their partner before they have kids and all these things, or their spouse or whatever, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
because of your nasiha. But like if you're like spraying and praying across this whole group, maybe you don't get that connection. So I feel like that's so important. Subhanallah.
That was very well said. Well, we have to read that article and really,
I know.
learn from it and bring back some more takeaways from that. 'Cause that's a good one too. I'll tell
Yeah.
you, I recently took a couple weeks off and was in a different country and just kind of slowed
Yeah.
down. Didn't have much internet for a while, on accident. Unlocked iPhone was not unlocked; it was just actually locked. But it forced me to really slow down. And subhanallah, I realized like for us, you're gonna be stressed out if you're always like notifications, messages, quickly. Everything's like execution and fast, fast, fast. Order from Amazon, it comes to you tomorrow, same day. Everything seems so busy, and people like Scott, I know his story. He just got burned out and took time off, and I think he traveled the world like for like 6 months, just like zenning out and like meditating and like slowing down, disconnecting. And I think it helps. I disconnected for like 10 to 14 days and I felt a lot better. And so I'm like, imagine if you actually give yourself daily moments of disconnect the true way. We have that in Salah too. Like if you actually disconnect and in Taraweeh and have the phone turned off for like 3 hours a day. And like if you do that kind of stuff, you can get the benefit without having to go nomad mode and like totally, what they say, monk mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man.
No, I love that, man, because it's like I feel like there's a few ways of doing that. And shout out to Alex Kremer when he gave us the nasiha. But um yeah, like for example, one thing I try to do is I'm not doing this consistently, but when you go to the masjid, like leaving your phone in the car, dude, it makes such a difference. Like I feel like that plus my Whoop not being like connected to the internet, besides just like tracking steps and my heartbeat and sleep and all that, whatever. I feel so much more relaxed. And like time kind of almost feels like it goes by a little slower and all these things. And when I get back to my phone, it's like more than likely I haven't missed anything. So that's one thing. Going to Jum'ah, I've really tried to also leave my phone in the car for a
Mm.
few reasons. One, bro, like you ever get to the masjid and you'll get work messages and stuff like that, like, and it's like you shouldn't. I mean, according to I think most fiqh opinions, you shouldn't even look at your phone. You shouldn't talk to anybody. You're basically in salah when you're
During the
listening to
Jama'ah
a
khutbah?
khutbah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was like don't play with like any pebble in the ground. If you do that, it was like I forgot the hadith. We should probably know it more, but
yeah.
yeah, no, don't
But
even
just
play with a pebble.
protect yourself at all times. As they say in the UFC, like don't mess around. Like be locked in. Like you're basically in salah. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna leave my phone in the car. So it's those small things, bro. Of like, how can you get away? How can you have like your daily retirements, right? From work, life, all these other things. I think it's just intentionality, man.
No, it's all a great point. Well, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
going to Alex's retreat in June, inshallah. I wanna lock in some more learnings from that and applications. But at the end of the day, none of this stuff works if you don't actually do it. If you don't commit
That's
to
true.
it, and some things are tough. Like I want to talk about something that I don't know if it's people bring up, but like I want to know like what percentage of people take their phone with them when they go to the bathroom. I'm just saying that because like I know
Yeah.
I do, and I take a lot more time than I need, and I'm not like I have like no time. Like I rarely have downtime when I'm not
Yeah.
on my phone. Like if you're
Yeah.
just doing nothing, you're like you know
Yeah.
checking
Yeah.
checking like, and I'm always like opening, and I'm like open scroll. I check my top app right now is my soccer score app. What games happened today and what
Yeah.
news happened. It's all AI generated. It's nothing special, and usually there's no news. But I check like 5, 10 times a day, and it's such an unhealthy aspect.
You want to do a quick test?
Yeah, but
Let me
is it
show.
with my
Let me.
phone? Because my phone's in
Let,
the. I'm recording with
no,
my
no, no.
phone.
I still have my old phone. Okay.
Oh,
So
nice.
I saw this thing online that said that, or I saw this thing on Stephen Bartlett's, like this really amazing interview on just personal connection, like emotional stability, anger issues, all these things. It's a really good podcast. One of the things the guy was saying is how phones, like he demonstrates exactly how phones ruin connection.
They
So he's
do.
saying, so like for example, let's pretend me and you are holding a string together, right? So start a conversation. Just talk to me about the soccer app.
Yeah, so I've been using it since like I don't know 2009. It's a great app. What you looking at?
So it's kind of hard because they demonstrated it with the real string in person. But
Right,
I
right.
digress. The point is, how did you feel when I looked at my phone?
Dude, which one? No, no offense to you now, but I feel like in
Yeah,
general, like it's one of the biggest forms of disrespect to not give someone your full attention. Not, I'm
yeah,
in general. Whoever, I'm not saying you right now. In
yeah,
general,
yeah,
like I do it
yeah.
too sometimes, and I'm like, if you're just dude, finish your comment because I have a thing to say about that. That really pissed me off the other
No, no,
day.
but right now, let if I were to do it again, okay, we're talking
Okay.
right now. Let me see.
Yeah, so I mean the app is pretty cool. It's simple, easy, and I
Oh,
check Champions League and Premier League scores on a daily basis. It has
oh,
notifications,
do
alerts.
you like using the app?
No, yes, yes,
How do you feel when like as you're telling me that?
dude.
Like as you're seeing me obviously away from like our conversation. It feels distant, right? Like like you feel less interested to
Yeah,
tell me about it, right?
yeah.
Um he was giving the example of like, and maybe when we see each other in person we'll do the actual test. It's
Yeah,
cool, but
I'd love to.
he was saying the string when he was doing the string with Steven, like when he'd look away, the string would it starts out tight and it gets loose because the
Oh,
person with you loses connection. Like let's say we're in person, you're telling me that.
subhanallah.
If I'm like, "Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?" You're just like, and it's so
So you want it to be tight. You want the string to be tight because you're both pulling
yeah.
on it. You want to be
Yeah.
fully focused and having that curiosity,
Yeah.
versus like it's loose and it's wavering because it's not really a
And
connection.
and the point of the whole
Huh,
thing is it's not like a psychological thing. Like whenever like I'm sure my wife is telling me, "Hey, get off your phone," or like,
dude. Same, same. I don't blame her.
it's real. It's real. There is like the string test basically proves that there is an actual element of personal connection that gets lost when you're kind of like distant in this kind of new way of being distant, right? Um so I don't know, man. I was just I always think back to that example. I don't know how we got here. I think it's getting late out here, but oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost 1 a.m. for both of us recording this because Ramadan's been so busy, but we are
Oh yeah,
committed.
bro.
We are committed to releasing episodes every
We're
Monday.
gonna keep it going. Yeah,
A hundred
yeah.
percent, man. And by the way, I got to give you credit. Like, mind slipped my idea slipped my mind this week. I was like, you know what? He didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. What's 1 week if we let it slip? And then I was like, I texted you, and you're like, yeah, bro, we got to find some time. And because Alhamdulillah, you know what they say, you got to be
Yeah,
disciplined in order to get any good results. So
yeah, yeah.
it's funny because I enjoyed this conversation. I'm glad we did it,
Same,
and
same.
I'm probably too loud right now, and my wife's probably pissed off because putting my daughter to sleep. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, I know, right?
we're almost done.
The, I know, right? But no, I mean that's the thing, bro. Like just in general, um, I feel like we are just getting to an era where like there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world, right?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I saw this video online about a guy who's basically addressing all these things that are hitting the media of you know government problems and files of certain celebrities or whatnot.
Oh,
I don't even know. But one of the things he was saying is like, great, what are you going to do about it? Like realistically, you know what is actually worth, like that's entertain. My sheikh was just telling me this earlier. Getting into all the weeds of what's on the mainstream and all that, that's entertainment. Like it or not, we are entertained by the news. We're like, is it making us feel great? Maybe not, but that's an entertain. Like it's like you watch a horror movie, right? Like you don't feel great watching a horror movie, but you're entertained, are you not? So what the perspective I heard is like, don't fall for the easy just consumption of knowledge and entertainment. No, go do the hard work. Pick up the Quran. Go read. Like. Oh yeah, world sucks. There's so many bad things that are happening. But you know what's great? You could go talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right now. Just open the Quran and do that. So I think that's been something I'm really trying to, but you have to force that environment. Like I always talk to you about, like we always talk about like the importance of coaching and accountability. I think like, you know, I was telling you about my sheikh in Africa, I don't know, a few weeks ago or something.
yeah.
Out the blue, bro, he texted me, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Sheikh, miss you so much, man." It's funny, he gets our lingo, so even though like he's in a country
Oh, he
called
says
Malawi.
man. You guys both say man to each other.
No, no, like I don't know how I said it, but
Is that the lingo you're talking about?
I was like, yeah, I want to work, like I want to start our classes again because I was
Mm,
just more disciplined. So I feel like investing in the right things,
yeah,
fitness,
yeah.
spirituality slash Deen, you're learning, like those are hard things to do. Opening the Quran, opening a sales book to get better at like just skills and tactics, or if whatever it is. But like, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's like you'll just get like pulled so many different directions, and you have a bunch of strings that are just loose. I don't
I
know.
guess it all goes back to consistency and discipline, and easier said than done. But yeah, you're right
Yeah,
because you don't get the same dopamine effect. Opening Instagram, you're like, oh, a bunch of new stuff, notifications.
yeah,
But when you scroll, you get in for 2 minutes, and you're like 52 minutes later, you're like, oh my god, if I had just read, I could have read like 20 pages of the Quran in 50 minutes, or I could
yeah,
have done a workout right now, and it could have been a 15-minute workout, but I would have benefited so much more.
yeah.
SubhanAllah, man, it's that self discipline, man. It's if it's not gonna happen now in Ramadan when we're fasting, it's not gonna happen ever. So we got what 12 days left? What are we? 12, 11, 12, I
12,
think.
11. Well, no,
6, 7.
6, 7.
Nah, I'm just kidding. We're not there yet.
There is 11 days. Yes, there's 11 days,
Yeah,
I believe.
something like this.
Because
So that last
yeah,
10 is coming. Essentially, it's like
yeah,
Tuesday begins the last 10. So I'm
yeah,
like, inshallah, for me personally, like, let's challenge ourselves, bro. Like, for
yeah,
me, I think I want to delete like all my social media apps
yeah.
tonight because I don't want these distractions. Even on LinkedIn and everything else, like, I want to be just locked in and have less distractions so I can capitalize on it. So that's my challenge to you, bro. Like, what are we going to do in terms of taking action tonight?
SubhanAllah, I love that. The string is very strong right now. I was just about to say something similar. I really like that idea, and I'll take it one step further in terms of like, for example, like, we want to share the podcast for whoever's got the time to listen in
Yeah.
Ramadan. Honestly, if you don't listen, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
Ramadan, I get it. But if you're on a drive, you're on a walk, you need some disconnect and you want to listen, I think my advice for people is like, for example, for me, for LinkedIn, I think I'm gonna delete it off my phone. And like, if I do any posts, I have to do it on my laptop. Because I'm not gonna scroll on my laptop for, I don't know if you've ever scrolled a lot on your laptop. I can't. Like, same thing with Instagram, these other things. Like, I don't scroll like that.
I scroll on LinkedIn on my computer, but I scroll on LinkedIn on my phone a lot more.
That's what I'm saying. I don't scroll as much on my computer. Like, I just get, I kind of like, I don't know what it is, but I think those kind of forcing mechanisms. So I like that. I think I'll delete like some of these more social medias that bring no value. And if I have to do something like LinkedIn or whatever, I'll just do it on my laptop, because I know I'm less likely to go out of control.
And it's not just about. I'm with you too. I think it's more the dangerous times of wasting it. It can be any time during the day, but it's really like that. After work, like 6 to 9, 6 to 10, when it's like family time, personal
Yeah,
development time, masjid time, like whatever you got to do to lock in.
yeah.
If you're wasting it on these apps, it's a waste. Now I know even like I read a lot of books about this called the Millionaire Mindset, Millionaire Fastlane, I think it was, and it was
Millionaire
talking about.
Fastlane. Yeah,
Yeah, have you read that book?
I'm like an hour through it, 11 hours on Audible.
Oh, dude, nice. Okay. So
Yeah,
the idea there is like produce more than you consume. And I'm like, social media is only good if you could produce and actually
yeah,
get something out of it versus consuming. And so I was thinking about this today to take it one step further. I was like, dude, as much as I like Instagram for connecting with people, I don't know how much value it brings to me. And
yeah,
even the stuff that we post on there, I mean, like I was thinking about today. I was like, I gotta just lock in on like 2 platforms, even for work and dealing deals.
yeah,
So I'm thinking about it. I was like, I think X and LinkedIn and YouTube, those are the only three because those are the ones that it's hard to scroll on for me. YouTube, you can scroll, but not really because if you're
yeah.
not doing shorts, it's not. X is addicting, but I think it's great at, getting followers and like engagement.
Connecting with people. Yeah,
But I think LinkedIn is where like you can't really put stupid posts, and a lot of the connections are real. Like people are messaging you. I was messaging someone the other day who was at Maqasid and chatting with me, and it turned out he was a CRO at a tech company. Yeah, no
what?
joke. Now we're
Wow.
texting. Now we're texting. Yeah, and I'm asking for advice on stuff, and I'm like, you don't get that on Instagram.
No, not at
So
all.
to me, I'm like, I want to make it hard for myself to be on these apps and just do the ones that are going to help me get value, get
Yeah,
time back.
I think the
Yeah,
challenge I'm gonna hit myself with is this: like it or not, a lot of us will scroll because, you know, okay, you follow a lot of inspiring accounts, entrepreneurs, stuff like that. And like, you'll consume this content. I mean, you being me, right? That's what I'm talking about. I was like, I'll consume all this content. It's like inspiring, motivating, all these things. Okay, what if disconnected from those things, disconnected from the funny videos, but more importantly, disconnected from the more like success, entrepreneurship stuff, and that energy goes to dua, Like, what if in a year from now, you know, what I put out is stuff that is inspiring and all that because of the dua I make in Ramadan. Like, it's that kind of stuff. It's like
SubhanAllah.
I'm not gonna get anything. Like, you might get a little dopamine hit here and there, but I think the better results come from the dua. And like, I always think, man, that Ramadan's always been a playground for so much khair for the year to follow. You know, like there is some remnant of Ramadan that sticks by every year, inshallah. So may Allah give that to everybody. But I feel like that's
Ameen.
the thing. It's like, okay, I know everybody's in that like home stretch, and it's like we're almost there. It feels like Ramadan's never gonna end, but 2 weeks from now, you're gonna be like, man,
Yeah, it's coming. And those last 10 days come quick. Isn't that what Sheikh Yahya said? You told me in the last episode. It was like you plant them in Ramadan, you sow the seeds like the rest of the year.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's only as good as what you take out of it, right? And,
yeah,
and the habits that you keep after. So, inshallah, we will challenge ourselves and hold each other accountable. But we got some big goals this year, and it's not going to happen. Even now, like last thing I'll say is, if you want to do more things and accomplish it, it takes time.
yeah,
And
yeah,
as I've gotten older, I've realized you have a kid, you have responsibilities. Like you never get more time. Like your time gets taken away from you.
yeah,
And so, if you want to do something big and accomplish it, you got to find those hours. And what Troy
yeah,
said in that recording that's coming out soon is like, hey, you want to work out? Do it at 5 a.m. before they wake up. You want to do something important to you? Like find time to do it. But finding time means taking time for something else. And so, I would rather take away that social media scrolling time than time with my
yeah,
family, than time
yeah,
working in my job and my career and my businesses. So, I like that. Inshallah,
yeah,
man.
bro.
Bismillah.
We'll have to check back in on progress, inshallah, in a week, inshallah, on that. Or I
Bismillah.
mean, sooner.
I'm gonna delete it tonight, bro. I'm gonna delete those apps tonight because it doesn't take much time to delete.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You're stronger than me. But yes, I like that idea. Look, I'm by the last 10 nights, I promise to have those time suck apps deleted. I got you.
Inshallah, man. Well,
Inshallah,
Fathallah,
inshallah.
I'm super sleepy, bro. I gotta go to sleep. Um,
Same here, man.
it's 1 or 2 a.m. It's Ramadan. We gotta wake up for suhoor in a little bit, but good chat. Inshallah, we'll
Alhamdulillah, man.
catch you. Get on the next one, and yeah,
Inshallah.
good chat today. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah. All right, bro. Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, inshallah.
Oh yeah, if you guys are listening, please subscribe. We had like 25 new subs this week, mashallah.
Bro, big
it was a
week.
it was a big week for the growth of the YouTube channel.
But guess
Alhamdulillah.
what?
What?
We still have that annoying statistic.
Yes, that, like
68%, 69, 70% of people who watch our stuff are not subscribed.
I gotta figure out if YouTube tells us who they are because we can just like go door knock or like message them. I know it's not gonna happen, but please, if you guys are supporting us and you like the content, just hit subscribe. We know you do it for Mr. Beast and everyone else doesn't need it out there. Why don't you do it for us? Like, come on, guys, spread the khair. Do some sadaqah. Tasaddaqu alayna.
Right,
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
SubhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah. Khalas with that, bro. Alhamdulillah, it was good chatting, and inshallah we'll be in touch soon. Ramadan Mubarak continuation.
100%, bro. Have a good one, inshallah. We'll talk soon.
All right, you too. Yalla,
Assalamu
assalamu alaikum.
alaikum.